And we're back to discuss Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and if you saw our review, we all enjoyed the movie. It's, it's great. It's right back at the same pedigree of the first movie. It doesn't have that wow factor because we've seen one of these before. We know kind of what to expect. I liked all of the development that they did with the characters. I thought it was cool that they did a cool twist with the father turning out to be the actual villain of the movie. It wasn't really the association. What are they called? The Sovereign?
The Sovereign, yeah.
The really bland gold people.
Yep.
That couldn't, I try to remember their names over and over again and just couldn't. But that's cool because those were kind of a fake out for people watching the trailers and stuff like that to see who the villain was going to be. The development with Drax and Yondu, or Rocket and Yondu was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Drax and Mantis thing was really, really awesome. The whole...
You're disgusting.
You're expecting that they're gonna kind of fall for each other, and he just says the wrong thing constantly, and she just oh, okay, all right.
Well, he wasn't even trying to woo her. That's what was hilarious.
Well, no, but the audience is expecting that.
Right.
The audience is expecting that to be some kind of a relationship.
Yeah, everyone gets to pair off, so why not those two, right?
And how little Star-Lord and Gamora actually get together in this movie is also a fantastic gotcha for the audience. We expect that by now they'll have something will have happened, or they'll be in some way together or anything like that. It's no, they just kind of have a minute at the end of the movie and that's it.
Yeah.
They did dance together.
They did in the first one too.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Well, it was good that Gamora and her sister Nebula, that got fleshed out more.
That was a better use of Gamora, I think.
Yeah.
I felt like Gamora was the most underserved in the first movie. I felt like she had very little character. She was just sort of a placeholder, and we got to see a bit more of her in this, I thought.
Actually, yeah, and in this one, I thought Chris Pratt was more subdued and not utilized as much because he's the main character, obviously, but it focused more on everyone else, which was kind of nice. And I thought Dave Bautista really stole the first act of the film because he had so many breakout moments that were just hilarious. And then it shifted over to Yondu because he had that whole awesome montage where he just killed everybody on the ship. That was
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that in the small review. Was there's a lot of death in this movie.
A lot.
A lot of death you get to see directly, as opposed to normal Marvel, which is hey, buildings are falling, so people are obviously dying.
So I remember, and I agree. As watching it, I found that the amount of people that were killed was, it was a lot. It was always played for a laugh. It was always done in a humorous way. Even the scene where Yondu is just murdering 400 people and they're showering in slow motion around him.
Yeah.
The thing where Kurt Russell reformed from a skeleton was pretty creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking about the first one too. There was a scene that there's one particular violent scene in the first movie where Groot just stabs a bunch of guys and smashes them into this corridor.
Oh yeah.
And then turns around and smiles at the camera. That I thought either that's going to be excessive for my kids, or they're just going to be fine and it's not going to be a big deal. My son, who was 4 or 5 at the time when we saw it, laughed his ass off at it. He thought it was the funniest thing, and I was like, there you go then.
My mouth kind of dropped open the Yondu scene with the arrow, because I'm oh, okay, we're just doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then there's no blood in this movie, really, so it's...
There's incinerating holes being carved into dudes, so...
yeah, but...
You can get away with any of that.
Yeah.
And you can color blood anything but red and get away with it too. So
Yeah. Yeah. So it's still definitely a PG-13 movie. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no,
you
no,
look
no.
like you have something to say.
I'm
still taking it in. There's a lot.
I do feel like I said, the turn of suddenly ego being like, oh, by the way, I'm trying to destroy all life in the universe to make myself the only thing here. Of course that's what he's going to say. And of course he's going to be kind of blanketly flat about that. He's not even going to...
His name's Ego.
Yeah,
So
they don't even like try to give a real justification for that. He's just straight up comic book level evil.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a little different from a lot of Marvel Universe stuff, because a lot of the stuff's like they're misunderstood somehow, or there's some sort of reason why someone's doing something. Cosmic level, I think people just they just put the dividers quite a bit higher on it, and just like, nope, evil, straight up.
Yeah, I would say apart from the fact that he can be killed by a small detonation next to his brain in the center of the planet, like, he might be the most powerful Marvel villain we've ever really seen.
From Marvel Studios, probably. I'd say they probably did more powerful versions in the Fox movies, but...
Well, and
I mean, like they're building up to Thanos, and I'm sure
Yeah.
Thanos is going to be a much bigger threat than Ego was.
Right.
But,
yeah.
like, as far as a being that can possess every world in the universe or whatever, like, yeah, that's a lot more powerful than Ultron or, you know, whoever else you want to come up with.
Well, and
Galactus.
And Ego wasn't just Kurt Russell. That was just his face.
Right.
That's
you know?
right.
Right.
The whole planet was actually the
that's what I mean.
creature.
It's like the actual enemy in this movie is more powerful than...
Right.
Like, the only thing I would say, like, maybe Hydra is, like, the second biggest thing that they've ever fought.
If you're going to like Fantastic Four too, if you're going to include them, Galactus.
No,
but
don't include Fantastic.
I agree. They're
not part of the
Fox.
cinematic universe.
They're not part of the cinematic universe, so they don't really count.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if you guys watched the spoiler-free review, I mentioned that, you know, what these guys are talking about is all Greek to me, and Bess
Right.
just pointed that out. I don't know. Yeah, it was just a really impressive villain, and but the story where, yeah, Kurt Russell, he's his father, and invites him over and is trying to convince him that he's a great guy. That was the only predictable part of the story. Like, I knew things were too perfect, something was going to happen, and I think we've actually seen that kind of story before.
Yondu's death was a little telegraphed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they were like, "Oh, you won't have the Ravagers singing the song at your funeral."
Yeah, even that early. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And so Sylvester Stallone shows up, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay.
Well, and then David Hasselhoff shows up first
Yeah,
That's
that
true.
was.
Yeah,
and sings a song in the
and sings a
credits.
song at the end. Yes.
Wow. Yeah,
So-
that got me.
I do not know who the other Ravager group is there. Does
Was
anyone
that
in the
Ving
car?
Rhames was one of the Ravagers, the big guy?
He died.
Oh, the actor?
Yeah, did he not?
Oh,
I think you.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, am I thinking of the guy from the Green Mile?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you heard it. Bess is racist, everybody, right there.
But I mean, I suppose people who know cosmic stuff probably know who that group is supposed to be, and I have no idea.
They made Ving Rhames like super huge in this movie.
Yeah.
So that's probably where you get the
Actually, yeah. I'd be lying if I said I
Hey,
didn't come to the same
I also
conclusion.
get John Goodman and that other guy mixed up too.
All right, there you go. Bess has redeemed herself.
John Goodman and the other guy,
She
Yeah,
hates
the
men.
other guy
that's
that
it.
actually died.
Michael J. Fox,
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Absolutely.
Patrick Swayze.
Nailed me on the head.
Who are you talking about?
Who's the other guy that looks
Canadian
like John
Bacon,
Goodman, and was bigger and had a heart attack and died?
John Candy.
John Candy.
Yeah, that one.
Right.
Yeah, I guess they kind of look similar. They're both fat. And very talented.
So maybe I'm just obesist.
Wow, all right. Well, we learned more about Bess tonight than we did about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Wow.
So yeah, as far as movies tying together, we have Thor coming up next, which is going to be cosmic level. So maybe these characters could show up in Thor in some cameo bit. Howard the Duck probably will, because why not?
Well, I think Thor is going to be sort of the opening to the Avengers.
Yeah, and the whole Infinity Gauntlet War and whatnot. Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet.
Fill in the blanks there. No, I mean, the thing that the Marvel Universe continues to do with varying degrees of success is go outside of what's expected. Iron Man was like a transcendently good superhero movie. It was better than superhero movies that came before it. Guardians of the Galaxy is like one of the it's like someone did like a Marvel movie with Harold Ramis and Ivan Reitman or something. It's like almost like a Ghostbusters feel to it. And then you have stuff like Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. That was Cap 2, right?
Right.
And that's which is like a spy movie as opposed to a superhero movie. So it's
each one has its own feel. Yeah, Captain America more spy / Indiana Jones type.
Yeah, depending on the movie. I mean, the Winter Soldier is definitely like a political thriller. More than the first one was just like a historical blah. Like it didn't really do much for me, even though I really liked Tim Roth. But
my biggest problem with the first Captain America movie was 3D. Actually, they specifically shot it to throw shields at cameras. But
yeah, I mean, for Guardians, we said it in the review. Go see it. I think it still is funny. I think one of the things that was surprising to me, like, I was really blown away in the first one by how good Rocket and Groot looked. That they felt like real characters. And this one, they upped their game even further. I think that Rocket looks like he's been through hell by the end of this movie. Like, his fur's kind of matted and messed up and...
Did Bradley Cooper change his voice between the first movie and this one? Because I almost couldn't even tell it was Bradley Cooper. And I was like, I'm pretty sure at the first one I could definitely tell it was Bradley Cooper.
So, I don't think his performance changed. I think his role in the film changed. Because Rocket is the comic relief in the first movie, and Drax is the comic relief in this movie. Rocket is more the heart of this movie.
Yeah, that's true. Well, in addition to those special effects, I thought the very beginning when it was Kurt Russell, and Star-Lord's mom, and they de-aged him.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, really? Did he film this way back in the 70s, knowing they were going to make it today? And
yeah.
Because
they can do crazy stuff with de-aging. If you watch there's that Pee Wee Herman movie that came out on Netflix like a year or two ago, where they made him look like he's 30 years old again. It's insane.
Huh.
And he doesn't even kind of look like he's 30 years old anymore. Like, he's a 70-year-old man. So...
Well, there are films where they try that. Remember the Wolverine movie, and they tried to de-age Patrick Stewart?
Yeah.
And that didn't work out so well. Or the Terminator movie, and they tried to de-age Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Tron was a little rough.
Yeah, I didn't see Tron.
Legacy, I mean.
Tron Legacy.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought all that stuff was really good, so yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as the light fades away from the car that needed to warm up in 70-degree weather for some reason. We'll leave you with that. If you like the way we do these, please like the video, subscribe. Check out all the written and video reviews at dalemaxfield.com. And thanks for watching.